Welcome to today's podcast. We're looking at a powerful verse from the King James Version of the Bible, Isaiah 30-17. Let's read it first. 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one, at the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee, till you be left as a beacon upon the top of a mountain, and as an ensign on an hill. Isaiah 30-17 KJV. This verse comes from a moment when Judah was afraid of enemies and chose to trust human alliances instead of trusting God. They looked for safety in political strength rather than spiritual obedience. Through Isaiah, God warns them that misplaced trust weakens people instead of protecting them. The first part says, 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one. Normally, God promised that his people would be strong and courageous when they walked with him. Here the picture is reversed. Many run from a few. The issue isn't numbers or power, it's confidence. When trust in God fades, fear grows quickly. A single rebuke becomes enough to scatter a crowd. That idea feels very current today. People often live under constant pressure. News cycles, opinions online, financial worries, health concerns, and uncertainty about the future. Sometimes it only takes one negative comment or one piece of bad news to shake our peace. Fear spreads fast, and confidence disappears even faster when it's built on unstable foundations. The verse continues, at the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee. The image shows panic multiplying. Spiritually speaking, when we lean on our own strength, we become fragile. The more we try to control everything ourselves, the more anxious we feel when life refuses to cooperate. It's a reminder that human strength alone cannot carry the weight of life. Then comes the striking picture. Till ye be left as a beacon upon the top of a mountain, and as an ensign on an hill. A beacon, or ensign, was a signal flag, visible, exposed, standing alone. It's an image of isolation after collapse, yet even here, there is quiet mercy. Something remains standing. God does not erase his people completely. He leaves a sign, a witness, a call to return. That's important for us today. Even when we feel stripped down by life, when plans fail, relationships shift, or confidence is shaken, God often uses those moments to bring clarity. The things we relied on fall away, and we begin to see where real stability comes from. Isaiah 30 as a whole shows that God's goal is restoration. Just a few verses later, the Lord speaks about showing grace and compassion. The warning is not meant to crush but to awaken. God calls his people back to trust so they can live with peace instead of fear. So how do we apply this today? First, we can ask ourselves, what makes me run? Is it criticism, uncertainty, or the fear of failure? When those voices become louder than God's promises, anxiety takes over. But when we return to God, through prayer, scripture, and surrender, we begin to stand firm again. Second, this verse reminds us that confidence doesn't come from numbers, popularity, or external security. Real strength comes from knowing who holds your life. The world says we must constantly prove ourselves. God says we can rest in him. Maybe you feel like that beacon on a hill right now, visible, alone, or worn down. The message of Isaiah is that being reduced is not the end of the story. God can rebuild from what remains. What looks like weakness can become a testimony that points others back to hope. So today, let Isaiah 30-17 challenge you gently. Where is your trust placed? What are you leaning on when life shakes? God invites us to move from fear to faith, from running to standing, and from anxiety to peace. Thank you for listening today. May this verse remind you that even in moments of uncertainty, God calls you back to confidence in him. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.